Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm XX Skull here, and today we're going to be reacting to My Mom Gave Birth to a Doll by My Story Animated. Now, if you didn't know, these are fake. These are straight up fake. These did not happen. They just want money. That's all. So I'm going to react to My Mom Gave Birth to a Doll. How do you even do that? In 3, 2, 1, let's begin.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and my
I'm sure you are.
sister is officially a doll. A freaking
What?
plastic doll. All thanks to my
There's a motorcycle outside. Freaking go already. Sorry, background noise.
crazy parents who had adopted her as their daughter. My parents' craziness had gotten me in so much trouble at that point that I ended up standing on the bridge with my hands in the air, and the police
I'm sure you did. How?
in front of me. One officer grabbed my arm hard and put me in handcuffs.
They grabbed my arm hard, so now I can tell a story about how they just grabbed my arm hard.
What was going to happen to me? I started to sob. I wanted to explain that it was all a misunderstanding. It hadn't been real.
What did you do?
But how exactly real? But it was like they didn't even hear me. They slammed the car door behind
Stupid bird won't shut up.
me. And just like that, I was on my way to jail. But how exactly did I end up in jail? Well, I'm an only child, but I wasn't always. About a year ago, my mom was pregnant.
Okay.
She was so excited that I was going to have a little baby sister. Unfortunately,
It's apparently a doll. Like, that makes any sense.
our excitement was crushed when my mom went into labor after 7 months. My parents sat with me that day and explained that there was a high chance my sister won't survive, and it was very hard on me to accept. But I did. When I saw my little sister in the hospital, she was too tiny. She hadn't developed enough, and, well, we lost her.
Okay. Get on to the point.
After she passed, I was crushed. It seemed like life will never go back to the way it was. But during all of that,
For one, you didn't even meet her. She died. 2, how would it even be the same? How would it be any different?
my mom did something unbelievable. I came home one day to find a baby on the table. A freaking baby! I yelled to my mom, asking her what was going on. When I got up to the baby, I realized the truth.
It was a doll. Then she gave birth to the doll? What?
It wasn't a baby at all. It was a doll that looked real. It was so realistic, I had to touch it to really make sure my mom hadn't kidnapped a baby and plopped it onto our
Kidnapped a baby and plopped it on our kitchen counter.
kitchen table. I asked my
Okay, table.
mom, what was this doll doing here? And she just laughed and said, "What do you mean? That's your baby sister."
I think your mom needs to go to a mental institution. Like, what?
My mom then scooped up the doll in her arms and started rocking it. I could practically feel my skin crawl.
Okay, I'm like going along with this, but I know it's not real. None of this happened. So, I'm not going to mention that through the rest of the thing, and I'm going to put that in the description below.
She explained to me that she had named her Julia. I tried not to react. I didn't want my mom to feel bad, but my God, was she being creepy. And it only got creepier from there.
Okay, at least you agree with me.
It started to seem like every time I turned my back, my mom was rocking the doll. She even started talking to it like it was an actual baby.
What is this, a Chucky movie? What, does it eventually come to life and kill us all?
I tried to ignore it, but man, it was hard.
Okay, am I the only one that's gonna comment that she looks like freaking Slender Man with that slim body? Jesus Christ.
I thought it was bad enough that my mom was rocking the doll. But one day at breakfast, Mom was feeding the doll. I just tried
Feeding a plastic doll. Slow clap, everybody. Just slow clap.
to ignore it, so I went to the kitchen to make my own food. since she was too busy feeding a fake baby to make anything for me. But when I
But then she didn't give birth to it, though.
opened the cabinet, pretty much the only food was jars of baby food. I seriously couldn't
Okay, I think your mom really needs mental help.
believe what I was seeing. I sat down at the table to ask my mom if there was anything in the house I could eat, and I sneezed. Just a little sneeze from allergies. In an instant, my mom was on her feet, screaming at me. She was shielding the baby in her arms and yelling at me for trying to contaminate her. I yelled,
What? Okay, your mom needs help. Okay, I've said it before. I'm not saying it any more times, but she definitely needs help. Contaminate a plastic doll. Oh my god.
yelled at her again that it was a doll, and she grabbed my wrist. I pulled myself away from her. I couldn't believe the look in her eyes. I was so embarrassed and felt so.
Of course, an ad has to come on. 2 of them.
Eternity Eau de Parfum
Even though it's not mine.
for Him by Calvin Klein.
Let life's many roads take
And I can't can't skip either of
you
them.
where they may. Just make sure they start at Stanley Chevrolet.
Betrayed that
There.
my own mother would put her hands on me. And all that over a doll? What was wrong with her? I thought that would be it. I thought maybe after seeing the look on my face, my mom would understand how wrong she was to hurt me
Oh, no. The way this is going, no.
like that. But it only got worse. When I got home every day, my mom would make me take off my shoes, and she would make me scrub myself down with this horrible antibiotic spray, all because
What?
she was afraid of me contaminating the baby. She even made me put this plastic suit on. It got to the point where I wasn't allowed to even be in the same room as the doll. I
just move out. I don't know how old you were, but I'd run away or move out. I'm not living with a psycho parent.
couldn't touch my mom. I couldn't eat in the same room as her. I felt like a prisoner. One day, I came home to find my room completely empty. Every single piece of furniture was gone. But Julia was painted on the wall in a
What?
pretty font. My mom told me there was too much of a draft in the baby's nursery, and that I would have to move downstairs into the basement where they had been keeping Julia.
You've been living in your mom's basement.
I seriously couldn't believe it. I was being moved for a doll? I wanted to yell. I wanted to scream.
I mean, at least there's a window down there, just in case you ever want to look outside.
But I was afraid my mom would hurt me again. Things seemed to level out for a minute. For a few weeks,
She does that and just call the police.
we lived like that. I avoided my mom, I slept in my new room in the basement, and I went to friends' houses to eat. It was bad, but I was
Friends' houses to eat. Your mom, oh my god, your mom is the worst person on the freaking planet! On the planet! I'm screaming into my pillow right now, oh my god. She's the worst parent on the freaking planet.
a senior. I thought maybe, just maybe, I could push through and graduate, and that would be the end of it. When my senior portraits came up, I would finally have a moment of happiness with my family. What happened instead was a nightmare. I arrived at school to have our family portrait taken. My
What kind of school is that? That looks like a normal house. Not even a normal house. I hate when people draw houses like that. No, that is not a school. And if it is, it's the smallest school I've ever seen.
school has a long-standing tradition of having the whole family involved, and I thought it might make my parents act more normal. Unfortunately, what I got was
Where's your dad? I saw him in that picture.
so much worse. My mom walked into the studio with a baby carriage. I was
Oh no. Oh no.
mortified. All my friends and teachers and their families were standing off to the side, watching my mom wheel this doll in.
Look at the silhouettes and the shocked expressions. That's funny.
When we went to pose
Why do all the male kids have like afros? I think they had afros. I don't know.
for the picture,
Why is there bananas coming out of their head? I don't know.
and my mom insisted that Julia had to be in the photo, I started to lose my mind. I told my mom I couldn't let
What? What is wrong with these people?
that happen. My mom yelled at me for not respecting my baby sister. I screamed that
You mean respecting a plastic toy?
my baby sister was dead and that Julia was a dumb doll. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. Some were laughing, some were horrified, but me, I was just furious. I couldn't calm down. I picked up the doll and was about to throw it across the room.
And then your mom would have tackled you on the spot and then ripped off your flesh. At this point, she probably would.
My mom screamed. I could see her sobbing. She just yelled at me to leave and never come back. I rushed home to start packing my things. I decided to
Yes, move.
sleep at a friend's house, but when I opened my phone, I quickly saw that wasn't going to be an option anymore. My social media accounts lit up. Someone had taken a GIF of me yelling and made a meme out of it. It was
What meme is it? What meme is it? I want to search it up on Google.
everywhere. People were calling me names. People were posting pictures of dolls on my page and tagging me in them. Oh, it was a flood of bullying, and I couldn't handle it.
If the story is real, which it isn't, I want to find that meme.
I tried my best to ignore what was happening, and I kept reassuring myself that when I'm old enough, I was going to leave this madhouse. But then I was shocked to discover that my parents had invited a psychologist to treat me because I wasn't accepting my
A psychologist to treat you? I think your mom needs a psychiatrist.
sister as part of the family. And that was my breaking point. The next day, I heard my mom and my dad come home. I hid in the closet and waited for them to go to bed. I knew what I had to do. All of this was that stupid doll's fault. I had to do something about this, once and for all. Once I knew they were asleep, I rushed into my old bedroom.
Did I ever mention why is it all stitched up? Sorry for the background noise, they won't shut up. But why is it all stitched up?
I picked
Stupid bird.
up the doll without giving it a second
If it doesn't stop, I'm gonna have to make a part 2. Shut up! My God.
thought.
Guys, I'm gonna make this a part 2. Maybe.
I raced outside. I walked as fast as I could. If my mom caught me before I did what I was going to do, it was going to be too late. On my way
What were you gonna do? Throw it away?
across town, a few people stopped me, excited to see my baby. I snapped at all of them. I couldn't believe everyone thought it was a real baby. I started to panic a bit. I had to get rid of the doll somehow. I had to do something, so it would never be found ever again, so my life could go back to normal. I started to cross a bridge onto
Shut the freak up.
the other side
The background noise, sorry guys.
of town, but I was stopped when I heard the rushing water underneath me. Now, in retrospect, this wasn't my best idea, but I needed to get rid of that doll. All I could think about was that people would finally stop making fun of me.
You're gonna throw it off the bridge? Jesus.
Maybe my mom would actually pay attention to me now. I started to walk over the bridge, ready to drop it. But my heart pounded when 4 police cars whipped directly in front of me. I stumbled back, totally terrified. Their
They thought it was real, which the story isn't.
sirens were deafening. One of the cops ordered me to drop to the ground. I did what he said, and I felt the handcuffs clamp around my wrists an instant later. Who did they think I was? What the heck was happening? I was asked over and over what was going on with the tears in my eyes. I started to panic. Was my life about to be over?
Yeah, they thought the plastic doll was real, even though it had stitches all over it. That makes sense.
Someone kept yelling at me, asking where the baby was. Then it hit me. They didn't know it was a doll. I tried to explain myself. I tried to tell them it was just a doll, but they wouldn't listen to me. It didn't help that I could barely get a word out. The police officer put me in the back of the car and took the doll from me. I was sobbing, scared out of my mind. I was really about to go to jail. When we arrived, I was thrown into a holding cell for questioning. Everything was dark. The school thought I was a freak. My mom was a freak.
I'm gonna search this up on Google and see if I can find anything about it, and if I do, I'll put it in the description and see if this actually really happened, or if it was fake, which it probably is fake. It's most likely fake.
And I was sitting in jail. I never thought my life could get so messed up so quickly. After a few hours, someone came to the questioning room and sat with me. He was a social worker. He started showing me one picture after the other of my parents' doll and kept asking, what did I see? I saw a doll. Every single time. What did he want from me? But then 2 giant men came and took me against my will. When I woke up, my legs and my arms were tied to a hospital bed.
I'm sure they were.
Was put in a psych ward. I stayed there for a month before my parents came to see me for the first time. How dare they? I was about to attack them when, oh my God, was this the doll? I remained calm as my mother got closer. And when I looked at the doll, I was shocked to see that it was a real-life baby. A real-life
What?
baby. Did they kidnap a real baby now? My mother told me that when Julia was born, we almost lost her, and I accepted her death too soon.
She died, I thought.
But Julia survived, and I was in
What?
denial, even delusional. I was
Okay, then she didn't give birth to a doll. She gave birth to a real kid. She just took after a doll until somehow she got that doll. I mean, the real kid. Okay, she looked after a doll. So, she pretended the doll was a kid. She didn't really give birth to it. What? This is the most clickbaity title on the planet.
suffering the same symptoms of schizophrenia my grandfather had before he died. For the first time, it started to make sense. It was me.
Schizophrenia? What?
Something was wrong with me. I started to remember flashbacks of Mom not allowing me to get
Okay, now it kind of makes sense since it was schizophrenia.
too
But it's probably still fake.
close to the baby. How my parents moved my stuff to a separate room. And my relatives' stares when I
My bird won't shut up. I'm so sorry.
said my sister was a doll. I then hugged my mom and cried. As for right now, I'm a whole new person.
I'm about to freaking kill this bird. I'm gonna choke him to death.
I take my meds on time, and I keep my mental health stable. Have you ever had to deal with grief?
No, I didn't. This was the most clickbaity title. So guys, if I can find anything about this news... Shut up, Mom! I'm about to go crazy. So guys, I hope you... I swear to God, I'm gonna punch the wall. Guys, if I find anything, I'll put it in the description. Shut up! I'll put it in the description below. Shut up! So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye.